What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin Renegades. And today we're going to be talking about a few things. The big thing is Bitcoin. It just went from 44,000 where it touched today all the way skyrocketing to $46,000 right now. I also want to talk to you about the channel and how it's going. That's going to be the first thing we talk about. But there's just so much good stuff going on in crypto. I also want to talk to you about XYO Crypto and how I bought it. And I actually sold at the top. I had a feeling I was like $40 in the profit because of the fee. So let's just say like $35 in the profit basically. And I was like, man, it's up, but it seems like it's starting to go down now. So I was like, you know what? If I sell out now and then it goes down, I can just buy back in, right? So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sell out back for my Bitcoin. And so I actually sold 617,000 satoshis, and I got back like 760,000 satoshis. So I made 150,000 satoshis off of that trade, which is a pretty good profit. I mean, we could look that up. It's probably like, I don't know, $100 or something, or I don't know. Let's look. I do want to know satoshi for USD. I want to see how much I made. 150,000. Okay, trade station. What is this? No, I don't want to trade. Oh, I should say calculator. Is that the converter? Okay, let's see if this works. There was one that I did last time on my phone. Let's see if this one doesn't work. That's the one we're going to use. So, USD to Satoshi. No, I want Satoshi to USD. Yeah, this isn't going to work. So, I need to find out the Satoshi calculator on my phone. Right here, it is a web analysis. There it is. Cool. A web analysis. A web analysis. Is it .com? A webanalysis.com. Okay, but that's not cryptocurrency price. Dang it. Convert. I'll just put slash. Hold on, where is it? Slash. No, that's a question mark. Slash. Convert. Did that work? Nope. Okay, dang it. Alright, I'm just going to have to search it on Google. Okay, I understand the file is not found. Let's just go back to Google. There we go. Oh, man. A web analysis. No, I didn't want to press .com, man. Thank you very much for, putting your 2 cents in there that I didn't want. You notice it does that sometimes when you don't want it to. It just basically did that. I want to look it up in Google. Thank you. Convert Satoshi. That's all I wanted it to do, man. I knew what I wanted it to do, and it didn't, and it took over anyway. So let's look. 150,000 Satoshis. So I only made $69, but still, that's a nice profit in a day. I made, 69 bucks. Good deal. And I'm going to continue to do stuff. But we're also going to be talking about Bitcoin. Look what happened to this. But before we do that, I want to get into the channel analytics. And I just wanted to show you the last 48 hours. This is the first thing I wanted to show you, but we actually did the profit thing from my XYO trade first. But look at that. We have 4,000 views in the last 48 hours. The channel is doing really well right now. A lot of our short videos are doing really, really well. So I'm going to just continue to put out 4 videos per day. I guess that's why I didn't do too well over here, is because I quit putting out, the 4 videos per day. When I start putting out even 3, I do better. So, and 2 of them are just long videos about like a lot of in-depth topics, and 2 of them are just short, either emergency videos or quick, hey, this is a good, price, this is good in September, this is that, Bitcoin this, altcoin that, lots of good information, great information, and that's why people are clicking on it, that's why we're doing so well. 665 subscribers. Once we reach that 1,000 subscriber milestone, in the description, there is a link for the Gleam contest. I'm giving away $50 to 5 different people. And any day past this date, right here, 18 days left, that we do not hit the 1,000 subscriber milestone, I will put $1 extra in the whole entire pot for the giveaway. So it starts at 50, the next day it'll be 51, 52, and so on up to, we're going to say like $70. I'll put an extra $20, or let's round it up to 30. I think, well, 25. That way each person gets, the right amount. So we'll do 25 extra dollars, so that means $75. Can you divide 75 by 5? What would that be? Let's see. I'll look it up on my calculator. 75 divided by 5. That's $15 each instead of 10. So that will raise the price for everybody's winnings if we do not get there by this 18 days. So guys, so why you want to subscribe and get in here now is because each day you come back and check out the website on here, you can earn 1 extra entry. And having the most entries, that's 18 more entries by the time we're done at 1,000. And if it takes even like 10, 15, 25 more days, then that's 1 entry per day that you have a chance to win one of those spots. And it'll be worth even more than $10 in Bitcoin per person. So just make sure you do that. We're growing really fast, especially with all these subscribers and these views coming in and these shorts taking off. I'm going to do 2 shorts per day, and I'm going to make sure they're good, because not all my shorts take off. But if I think about it, I'm very specific on what's going on in the crypto world, and I put out quality videos. They do well. So that's what we're going to do. And now let's get on to Bitcoin, guys. So this is what we're looking at, and why I wanted to make this video right now, because Bitcoin has just taken off. Okay, we just broke out of this descending triangle over here, as you see that. Like I told you, even if we go sideways, we just break out of it, which is kind of cool with the descending triangle, and it actually has brought us to the upside now. And we're actually right on the 200-day moving average right now. And we're waiting for this 50-day moving average and this 200-day moving average to intersect. We want this one to go above this one, and that's a bullish signal that is called the golden cross that we talked about. We still have this perfect inverse head and shoulders forming right here, either right there, or even you could say to right here. It depends on where it's going to come up. The other shoulder over here, which is another bullish sign. Everything is looking good for Bitcoin, but this could be its last chance. If we don't continue with the bullish momentum, we are going to have to test back to these $40,000 levels right down here, right about down here probably. So even maybe 38,000. I don't think we're talking about a 29,000, but we might have to touch down to 38 if we cannot break out of this. If we get another candle like this, then we're going to have to, reassess everything. But I don't think that's happening. Everything is looking bullish. All the news with Bitcoin, El Salvador using Flexa, that's good news for AMP and Bitcoin, because it makes the Bitcoin payments more efficient on the Lightning Network over there in El Salvador. And it also helps AMP and Flexa use their their payment network more and in more countries, and then it'll grow AMP as well. AMP has not done very well lately. It has just kind of went down and sideways, back up a little bit, down and sideways, back up a little bit, and no big moves. Well, I see a big move coming for AMP in the near term future, but for Bitcoin, kind of he dictates the whole market, but I think crypto and Bitcoin are decoupling a little bit. I think the Bitcoin dominance is lower than it has ever been. Maybe not like historically in the charts, in the Bitcoin dominance charts, but I feel that it feels different now. When Bitcoin goes up, like the graph just went up a ton, and then Bitcoin went up after the graph did. How did that happen? Bitcoin did the exact same thing that the graph did, except it did it about 30 minutes later. The graph blew up, and I made a video about it. And I looked at Bitcoin, remember, during the video. And I was like, did Bitcoin do that? And that's good that I made the video about that. Yes, I love it when I make really good discoveries like that on video. That's why I like doing videos, because it prints and it's there for later research too. So basically now I can look at that and say, hey, Bitcoin didn't pump right when the graph did. The graph pumped. I even showed, I was like, well, did Bitcoin? And it pumped a little tiny bit, but it didn't pump like the graph. And then I went back and looked about 30 minutes later, and the Bitcoin had pumped like the graph did, except later, and it shows in the chart. It's weird. Maybe I can even show you on here. I kind of want you to see what I saw on Coinbase. It was really strange, but cool. I was like, wow, the graph. So, remember when I showed you the thing? Okay, and hold on, let me get into this page so I can see what I'm doing. Right here in the chart. If you look, see this pattern that I showed you with the graph right here? Look, Bitcoin did it after the graph did, because I looked and Bitcoin was about right here. And let's go look at the graph. Memorize this for a second. Okay, what that looks like. Now let's go in and look at the graph, how it did it. Look at that. And it did it before Bitcoin. Look how much further along after it is. This happened before Bitcoin. Bitcoin was still down here when the graph was over here. So the graph pumped up all the way, like Bitcoin pumped it up a little bit, but then the graph went broosh, and then Bitcoin did. Now let's go back and look at Bitcoin and see how long that line is afterwards. See, just pay attention to the line afterwards. See, it's not the same. It's shorter, which means it happened after. It didn't go up as fast as the graph did. So that shows decoupling of crypto in a real world way. That yes, it is Bitcoin has the dominance, but it shows that these other coins can push past that and move away from the dominance in a way that actually brings Bitcoin with it, like Ethereum. You saw Ethereum at the beginning of this bull rally. Some people said that it was Ethereum that brought Bitcoin out of its slump, and it kind of did. It led the market for a while, guys. Ethereum with the NFT marketplace, DeFi, and everything else with Ethereum, with all the bad news that was happening with Bitcoin, it needed like kind of attaboy, right? It needed something to get it out of its rut, to stop it from, going in the way that it wasn't supposed to be going because of people in their, Twitter accounts, Elon Musk, and also the mining thing that happened in China, and just all the FUD that was out there, right? So, yeah, you just gotta push past all that and know that, like, maybe Ethereum has brought Bitcoin out of a bad way. And now it shows that other crypto can do that a little bit as well, like the graph. You saw the graph blasted up, and then what? Let's look what Ethereum did. Now, this is another thing. Maybe Ethereum was the cause of this, and the graph just went with it. But look at this. No, not. Oh, man, I shut my phone off. Whoops. I hate it when I do that. They hit the button on the side when I'm trying to show you. So look at Ethereum. It didn't do hardly at all what either of them did. It did have the same dip, but it didn't, have the same monumental spike afterwards. This looks more like a cup and handle pattern, you know, that it just went down and then back to where it was. Now, if you look at the graph, it didn't go back to where it was. It went way higher. And if you look at Bitcoin, the same thing. So I think the graph somehow brought Bitcoin out of its dump. Whoa. I've seen Ethereum do it, but I don't know about the graph. It is number 5 on popularity on Coinbase, and it is also a 4.4 billion market cap, which isn't that big. But do you know what it does? It is the Google of blockchains. So this is not going anywhere. This is going to be a token that probably ends up sitting somewhere around the $10 or $15 range. Yeah, well, let's multiply by 10. So if we're at 92 cents, that would be 9. So if we multiply it by 10, that would be 40 billion. And that would be a $9.20 graph. So if we do another half off of that, we're talking about 60 billion for about a $13 graph. So when graph gets about $13, it'll be a $60 billion market cap. Right now, it is only a 4.4 billion market cap, which doesn't seem like it could move Bitcoin. But as you see, it looks like it did. Because it pumped before Bitcoin and then Bitcoin pumped right after. So it wasn't Bitcoin that pumped the graph, it was the graph that pumped the Bitcoin. That is a little bit strange to me, but you saw it right there. I watched it live happen. And if you go back and look at my graph video, you can see I was looking for that exact scenario, but for Bitcoin to be bringing graph up. Because the graph in Bitcoin, if you look, they almost do the exact same thing at the exact same time. They are very well correlated on Coinbase. Where I track them, they basically do mimic each other, guys. So that's why I always watch Bitcoin with the graph. That's the reason in the video that I was like, hey, let's look at Bitcoin, because normally when Bitcoin pumps, the graph pumps, and I hold Bitcoin, so I'm like, cool, both my, holdings are pumping. And then Bitcoin didn't pump right away. It did a little bit, but not like the graph. And then it did after the graph did. That was the weird part. Yeah. We're going to move on from that, but I want to take a second to shout out our sponsor, Trash Faucet. I'm sorry for not doing as many live streams. I didn't think on how that would affect my sponsors and the videos going forward, so I'm just going to do recorded videos instead, because live streams they make me lose focus, and they don't. This was a good video. I'm happy with everything that went on with this video. So let's shout out Trash Faucet. And Cryptos R Us is not our sponsor, but he needs to be the #1 crypto channel. Why? Because he's an individual, and YouTube belongs to the individuals, not companies. Now, if you know who BitBoy Crypto is, he has the #1 crypto spot. Nothing against BitBoy at all. Great channel, great content, but he is a company called BitBoy Crypto, or the Bit Squad, and they are an actual non-profit company. I don't know how they can be a non-profit, but that's what they're listed on. I looked it up. So yeah, it's a company, and I don't know if Cryptos R Us is a company, but it needs to, if it is, then I have to go for somebody else who is not a company. So Cryptos R Us, please do not make a company. YouTube #1 spots belong to individual content creators. That is what YouTube's about. That's what it needs to stay being about. Even if I have to make a new T-Series versus PewDiePie, we're going to do Cryptos R Us versus BitBoy Crypto for the #1 spot in the crypto universe for that YouTube #1 crypto spot, guys. We need Cryptos R Us. So go over there, subscribe to his channel, like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and like as well. And go check out trashfaucet.com if you want to get some free crypto. And yeah. All right, guys. That being said, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good Bitcoin.